Very good morning, dear children. In last session, we studied our first lesson of history, that is, sources of history, that is, material sources, written sources, and oral sources of the medieval period. Now, today, we are going to start with our second lesson, that is, India before the times of Shivaji Maharaj. Various ruling powers existed in India during that period. Among these all dynasties, some of them were very important dynasties. They were Pal dynasty, Rajput dynasty, Gurjar, Pratihar dynasty, Gadwal and Parmar dynasty, Chauhan dynasty, Chola dynasty, Hoysal dynasty, Rashtrakuta dynasty, Shilahar dynasty, and the most important one is the Yadavas dynasty. Now, we'll study in detail about these all dynasties. First one is Pal dynasty. This Pal dynasty came into existence in the 8th century and it was a very famous dynasty in Bengal. And Gopal was the ruler of this dynasty. He was the founder of the rule of the Pal region in this dynasty. Among the Rajput dynasties in North India, the Gadwal and the Parmar dynasties were very important dynasties. And among this, Prithviraj Chauhan, belonging to the Chauhan dynasty, was a very valiant king. In first war at Tarai, Prithviraj Chauhan defeated Muhammad Ghori, but Muhammad Ghori defeated Prithviraj in the second war at Tarai. Then Chola dynasty is belonging to the Raja Raj I and Rajendra I in Tamil Nadu. These both were the eminent rulers of this dynasty. They conquered Maldives Island and Sri Lanka because of their strong navy. Then Hoysal dynasty came into existence in the Karnataka. Vishnuvardhan conquered whole of the Karnataka. After that, Rashtrakuta dynasty, it also came into existence in the reign of Maharashtra. Govind III and Krishna III were the eminent rulers of this dynasty. They expanded their empire from Kannauj to Rameshwar and up to the Allahabad. Shilahar was also the most important dynasty in western Maharashtra. One dynasty ruled over Thane and Raigad in North Konkan and the second in South Konkan, while the third dynasty ruled over some of the parts in the present day of the Kolhapur, Satara, Sangli and Belgaum districts. The last prosperous power before the period of Shivaji Maharaj was the Yadavas. It was a very powerful dynasty. The capital of Bhilam V of the Yadava dynasty was at Devgiri near Aurangabad, and he extended his empire, he extended his rule beyond the river of Krishna. This Yadava dynasty is considered as a golden period of Marathi language and literature. It was the period when Mahanubhav Pantha and Warkari movement emerged during this period. Invasion from the northwest. Local dynasties like Yadavas and Rashtrakutas ruled in Maharashtra. But invaders, it means looters, from the northwest conquered the local dynasties and established their own rule. It means they conquered that all local dynasties and they established their own empire in that area. At the same time, Arab power also emerged in Middle East. Arab rulers turned towards India to expand their empire. The Arab general Muhammad bin Qasim attacked the Sindh province in the 8th century, and the main thing is that the resistance of King Dahir, he conquered the province of Sindh. Due to this campaign, the Arab came into political contact with India for the first time. In the period followed, Turk, Afghan, Mughals from Central Asia came to India to establish their own power in our country. And after that, in 11th century, the Turk began to invade India. For expanding their territories, they reached the northwestern frontier of India. Sultan Mahmud of Ghazni invaded India many times. He plundered means robbed. He robbed the valuable, the riches of the temples of India, that is Mathura, Vrindavan, Kannauj and Somnath, and he took all that wealth, whatever he got from there, with him. The world famous enriched library of Nalanda University was also burned by Bakhtiyar Khalji. Sultanate in the north. In 1175 to 1178, Sultan Muhammad Ghuri of Ghur from Afghanistan invaded India. He appointed Qutbuddin Aibak to look after the governance of the conquered territories in India. It means he appointed a person, his name was Qutbuddin Aibak, to look after the administration of the conquered territories in India. Whatever land he conquered, he nominated one person, he appointed one person to govern that place. Later, after the death of Muhammad Ghuri in 1206, Aibak began to rule the Indian territories under his rule independently. Actually, Aibak was a slave, but he became the ruler of Delhi. Afterwards, in 1210, he also died. Lodi was the last sultan. He made many enemies because of his peculiar temperament. Peculiar means very unusual or strange, and temperament means character. Because of his unusual and strange character, he made many enemies. Daulat Khan Lodi, governor of Punjab, invited Babur, the ruler of Kabul, to fight against Ibrahim Lodi. Babur defeated Ibrahim Lodi in the battle, and thus the Sultanate came to an end. It means the Sultanate came to end after the death of the Ibrahim Lodi, because he was the last Sultan. The Kingdom of Vijayanagar. During the reign of Sultan Muhammad bin Tughlaq of Delhi, there were many revolts in the south against the central power of Delhi. It means for the central power of Delhi, many revolts were there. From these revolts arose the formidable Vijayanagar and Bahmani kingdoms. The brothers Harihar and Bukka from South India were the Sardars in the service of the Delhi Sultanate. Taking advantage of the instability in the south during the reign of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, they founded the kingdom of Vijayanagar in the south in 1336. It means they understood that there is instability, so by taking the advantage of that, they established their own kingdom in Vijayanagar in the south. In 1336, Hampi, in today's Karnataka, was the capital of this kingdom. Harihar was the first king of Vijayanagar. Harihar was succeeded by his brother Bukka. Bukka brought the region up to Rameshwar under his control. Afterwards, Krishnadevarai ascended the throne of Vijayanagar in the year 1509. He conquered Vijayawada and Rajmahendri and annexed the regions of his kingdom. He defeated the combined forces of the armies of the Sultan, who had united under the leadership of Bahmani Sultan Muhammad Shah. During his reign, the kingdom of Vijayanagar extended from Cuttack in the east up to Goa in the west and from the Raichur Doab in the north up to the Indian Ocean in the south. Krishnadev was a scholar and he wrote many books, that is Amukta Malyada, a Telugu compendium on polity. The Hazar Ram temple and Vittal temple were built in Vijayanagar during his reign. The decline of Vijayanagar kingdom began with the death of Krishnadevarai. He died in the year 1530. In 1565, at Talikot in the present state of Karnataka, there was a battle between Adil Shahi, Qutub Shahi, Nizam Shahi, Barid Shahi on one side and Vijayanagar on the other side. Means this all four powers came together and they fought against the Vijayanagar. Which four powers? That is Adil Shahi, Nizam Shahi, Qutub Shahi and Barid Shahi. Vijayanagar was defeated in this battle. Vijayanagar defeated. Thereafter, the dominance of Vijayanagar came to an end. Bahmani kingdom. While Muhammad bin Tughlaq was still reigning, some of his Sardars in Deccan arose in rebellion against him. It means they rose a rebellion against Muhammad bin Tughlaq. The leader of the Sardars, Hassan Gangu, defeated the army of the Sultan of Delhi, and a new kingdom known as Bahmani kingdom came into existence in 1347, and Hassan Gangu was the first sultan of this Bahmani kingdom. He made the city of Gulbarga in Karnataka his capital. It means Gulbarga in Karnataka. He made this city as his first capital. Muhammad Gawan. Muhammad Gawan was the chief wazir of the Bahmani kingdom and he was a very good administrator. He strengthened, it means he made stronger the Bahmani kingdom. It means during his reign, the Bahmani kingdom became very strong. He started paying the soldiers their salaries in cash instead of giving them land grants. He brought discipline in the army. He also introduced many reforms in the land revenue system. He opened madrasa at Bidar for Arabic and Persian studies. It means he opened some schools Madarsa means schools where Muslim children are going for their studies. So he opened these madrasas at Bidar for the Arabian and Persian studies. And almost 20 years he dominated the affairs of the state. After the death of Muhammad Gavan, factionism increased among the Bahmani Sardars. Factionism means arguments, means when he died, for his territory, for his kingdom, there many arguments increased among the Sardars. The conflict with the Vijayanagar kingdom had an adverse effect on the Bahmani kingdom, and because of these all conflicts, there was a very harmful effect on Bahmani kingdom. The provisional governors began to act more independently. This led to the disintegration of the Bahmani kingdom into 5 small powers. So because of that, this Bahmani kingdom, it splitted into 5 small powers, that is Imad Shahi of Warhad, Barid Shahi of Bidar, and Adil Shahi of Bijapur, Nizam Shahi of Ahmednagar, and Qutub Shahi of Golconda. So this is the way, because of this disintegration, it divided into 5 small kingdoms, 5 small powers, and it weakened the Bahmani kingdom. So that's all for today, children. Today we are going to study till here only, and next one from Mughal power we will complete in the next session. Okay, then bye children.